Without trust, remote working doesn't work. More and more people are wanting to work remotely. As a leader, how can you say yes and be confident that your teams will be successful? Without trust, remote working doesn't work. If you don't trust your team, then you're doomed for failure because you'll end up interrupting them just to reassure yourself they are working. If you do trust your team, that's great. You're one step closer to saying yes and enabling your team to remote work. Working from home and remote working aren't the same thing. The goals are different. Working from home gives a team member temporary leave of absence from the office. If the setup isn't right, then the risk of an employee missing out on key bits of information or being unproductive is limited, as typically they're back in the office in a couple of days and any issues can be resolved quickly. Remote working, however, gives a team member the ability to work away from the office for weeks or even months at a time. Any issues with the setup can cause problems if they aren't resolved quickly, seriously impacting on productivity and undermining the success of any remote working initiative. If you're able to support working from home, then you should have some of the building blocks already in place to enable you to start remote working. This is a no-brainer. If your team members spend most of their time completing their work digitally, then they're already prime candidates for remote working. There are two things likely to stop your team from making a success of remote working. These are: one, if a task they spend the rest of their time doing can't be moved to a digital channel, or two, if there's limited external access to the tools and systems they need to do their job. This is critical. If you're already using a collaboration tool as the bedrock for coordinating your team's work, then you're 95% there. A remote worker needs confidence when they're not in the office that they're still involved in the project and they're not being left out of key conversations. If all of your people in the office have an assume remote mindset, then it can help ensure remote workers don't feel excluded. If you're not using these tools already, then this will be your first step. It seems strange at first to use a collaboration tool to talk to a colleague you're sat next to in an office, but it's essential for creating transparency and clarity, which are the fundamental principles of remote working. When setting up your collaboration tool, it's typical that most conversations will happen in private chat sessions. This should be avoided. All conversations should happen in open channels unless privacy is absolutely critical. Using open channels for communications is a secondary benefit of helping everyone become more aware of what's happening across the whole team. It also ensures the team are more likely to offer help and support each other, which becomes even more important in a remote working environment. When people work remotely, they need absolute clarity on what you want them to achieve and by when. You can make use of project management tools such as Trello or Jira, and you can detail the in-progress work and ensure that the team keeps the boards up to date. That way you'll have a clear idea of what's been worked on and what's up next. If you can say yes to all these questions, then you should feel confident that you can run a successful remote working experiment. If not, hopefully you've been able to take away some tips to help you create an environment where remote working can start to flourish. If you'd like to learn more or you think we can help, we'd love to hear from you. Head over to 22north.co.uk now.